I've got fantastic news for you. Revenue is up in gyms around the world from 2024 to 2025. Finally. I know this because we analyzed data from thousands of gyms and we just published it in our State of the Industry report, and you can get it via the link in the show notes. Today, I'll dig into revenue data from 2Brain's top 10 gyms and tell you exactly how the owners are generating so much revenue. First, a little bit of tough love. If your revenue hasn't increased from 2024 to 2025, you are falling behind the industry. But don't let that ruin your day. If you're hearing me say this, then you're in the exact right place. I'm going to give you the info you need to get back on track and even pull ahead of the average. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym. And today is our leaderboard show. We'll talk about how the best are doing and how you can capitalize on their lessons because they share them with us and we share them with you. Now, if you want to grow your revenue as fast as humanly possible, then let's talk about working together. When you buy mentorship, you buy speed, just like your clients buy speed when they buy coaching from you. Book a link with me in the show notes and we'll talk, or you with my team, and we'll get you set up with mentorship. But first, here's our top 10 leaderboard for gross revenue. Now, these are rolling 3 months averages. These are not, one and done, one hit wonders. I want to talk to gyms who are doing this consistently well, because then we'll be talking about stable, recurring revenue. Nobody earned a spot with some dangerous, long-term damaging Black Friday sale or a paid-in-full bait-and-switch high-ticket campaign or this one-time thing they can never repeat. These are sustainable numbers. So first, let's start with number 10, and these are all in US dollars. Number 10 was $69,932 for 1 month in the US. Now, keep in mind that this is a rolling 3 average, but that doesn't mean this is revenue for 3 months. This is 1 month's revenue in a coaching gym in the States. Number 9, $70,674 US for 1 month's revenue from a gym in Switzerland. Amazing. 8th place, $70,914, Canada. Amazing, love it, representing. 7th place, $71,372, a US gym. 6th place, $77,067 from a gym in Belgium. So just 10th through 5th place, we're looking at $69,000 up to $77,000 for 1 month revenue in a coaching gym where we've got representation from the US, Switzerland, Canada, and Belgium. Amazing, love to see it. 2Brain works internationally. We have mentors from around the world who will work with you in your country or your region at least and help you boost up your gym. In 5th place this month, $78,881 in revenue from the US. Now, all of the rest are above $80,000 in revenue. Can you even imagine? The reason that we publish these numbers is not to say mentorship is for these successful gyms and not for you. We publish these numbers to show you what's possible with mentorship. So 4th place last month was $80,171 US. 3rd place was $89,712 from a gym in Denmark. 2nd place was $107,327 US. And 1st place overall for top revenue for 1 month was a gym in the US with $119,457. Now, look, wherever you are in the world, including the US, you might be saying, well, times are tough. X is going wrong. I'm in the wrong place, the wrong market. My market is depressed. These are all just excuses that stop you from achieving your full potential as a gym. All of these gyms have to overcome, the owner's perception. They have to overcome bad economies. They have to overcome, downfalls in the markets and all this other stuff. All the excuses that you're letting yourself believe that let you get away with a struggling gym. You have to get over this mindset first and accept that here's what's possible. And the thing that's standing in the way of you achieving this kind of success is probably something that's right between your ears. Stop allowing yourself the easy way out. Stop hiding from the truth that by becoming a better gym owner, you can have a better gym. Now, these are all amazing numbers. The top revenue number I just shared was $119,457. It's consistent. This is a number that these guys are hitting every month. It's not a one and done bait and switch Black Friday to the death sale. What's really more important is that these gyms are still growing. They're going up. The last time we published our revenue leaderboard in June, that top 10 monthly average was about 76,000. If you take the average from the top 10, the average back then was 76,441. Today, that average across the top 10 is 83,551. And if you just listen to the numbers, you'll see it's not just like one or two standout gyms pulling the average up. If you push that out to annual gross revenue, it's $1,002,000. And that's incredible because for the first time, the average of the top 10 gyms in Two Brain is over $1 million a year. So I'm proud of all these gym owners. It's not just that we've got one gym, two gym, 10 gyms, getting to $1 million a year. The average of our top 10 is all over $1 million. And I can remember, back in the day, I would be looking at ads for like Gym Launch and whatever their top gyms were doing. And what they would do is they would say like, okay, this gym had a month that was really good, their best month ever, 83,000. If they do that every month for the next 12 months, they'll be $1 million gym. And they would call these people $1 million gyms. And frankly, I thought that was BS. Like nobody's going to duplicate that month every time over and over just by running Facebook ads and high ticket sales. That's just not replicable. And it's a falsehood to say that these are $1 million gyms. They had one good month. So when we started giving out our Millionaire Gym Award, we awarded that based on net worth. People had to show that their net worth was $1 million or above, and we're at 76 millionaire gyms now. When we do these leaderboards, I want to present you with knowledge and education from the top gyms who are doing this consistently, not just one big month where they had this bait and switch campaign, paid in full, high ticket, because that in itself is a bait and switch. I want to give you real facts and data that you can learn from, just like I want somebody to give that to me because I'm a gym owner too. So let's get into the top tips of the top gyms in the world. We sometimes find that humble gym owners are reluctant to blow their own horns. And so this month, I asked their mentors to brag about their clients' hard work. So first off, mentor Daniel Purington had a couple of clients in this category. And it's interesting because Daniel really specializes in working with small group personal training and semi-private gyms. And so what he told us were a couple of things that the leaders had in common. First, they consistently show up to their calls with their mentor prepared. Their challenges are quickly identifiable because they actively track and review their key metrics. This is the key to success. If you don't know what metrics you should be tracking, you need to talk to a mentor and get a dashboard built so that you can clearly track your metrics. That's the first moment of truth in your business. And once you've got truth, you can build from there. Dan also said, talking about another gym, over the past year, they've increased their organic media presence, building out more specific blog content, speaking directly to their avatar. Additionally, we've improved operations by implementing a CRM, which has systemized much of their communication and intake process, as well as increased their organic leads. A third gym he said the majority of their business is one-on-one, small group PT, and semi-private. And another, he said, honestly, what they do is so special that they track their metrics and are very open and receptive to direct guidance from me, their mentor. In short, they do the work. Now, I'm going to pause before I move on to the next mentor's recommendation here from Russ Francis. Imagine that you had one client in your group, one of 12, and they were lagging behind. They weren't getting the results. What's the first question you'd ask them? You'd say, why aren't you doing the work? Because you know that your program is working and it's working for 11 out of 12 and they're getting these amazing results. And the person who isn't getting good results is a laggard. And then apply that to your own business. Here's the reality. The knowledge to grow your business is out there. Most people can't just take that knowledge and apply it. They need a coach, right? Same as fitness. The top 10% can take knowledge and apply it and they're good. The rest of us all need a coach for accountability and motivation and clarity and adjusting the path. But if somebody is getting your coaching and they're still not getting results, it's because they're not actually doing the work. They're not repeating the basics over and over and over again. And then whenever we hear that somebody isn't getting good results from working with a business coach, I know they're not doing the work because at least in Two Brain, we track results so much and report them to you and report them to the client and base our mentorship on them that if somebody says, well, I didn't get good results, it's because they didn't do the work 10 times out of 10. You can rest assured that that is the case. The clients who do the most work the fastest with clarity get the best results. When I interviewed our top gyms, the top 12%, were getting results 4 times faster than everybody else. They weren't doing secret high-level techniques. They were doing the basics 4 times better. That's it, literally. We tell them, okay, you're going to do a 5/130 post, and you're going to do that every 2 months. Got it, coach. And they're going to keep doing that forever. Other people will do that once and say, okay, what's next? And they'll be looking for novelty and the new thing instead of repeating the thing that actually works. And so if you're listening to this, if you're in the two-brain family, if you're not, don't forget, like once you do something and it works, put that on your calendar as something that you repeat over and over and over again. That's how you keep making incremental gains. And that's what got these revenue leaders to the top of the leaderboard. It's not just one big jump, right? It's not one magical ad campaign or one super duper social media post. It's these incremental steps. They stepped up one step at a time instead of jumping up all at once. All right. Russ Francis has a couple of leaders on this leaderboard. And I know who he's talking about here. This is a very large gym, one of the longest standing CrossFit gyms in the world. And Russ said he is an absolute ninja, speaking of the gym owner, on using GLM, workflow automations, to provide very relevant information to new leads depending on what they click on the website. He uses very program-specific emails and texts that move them quickly to either a new membership or into a long-term lead nurture. So again, here's this person. They don't have one single crafted email, special social message. They're very, very good at using the basic tools, their CRM. Let's move on to the next mentor. Ryan McFadden was talking about having systems for scaling in his clients who made it to the leaderboard. So Ryan said of this gym owner, we're helping him dial in his staffing and systems in order to help him stabilize his operations even more and possibly scale to another location soon. Again, focus on the basics, right? Make your systems good and then work to improve them over time. Courtney Brownlow had this to say about her client who made it to the top 10 revenue leaderboard. This leader focuses on the beginner to grow membership. So he knows the client avatar and creates content around it, and he sells an on-ramp and client journey to someone who needs the accountability. Then he uses the Two-Brain Growth Toolkit to charge what things are worth, raising rates when necessary. Amazing, right? Doesn't sound sexy or exciting or a new tip. It sounds like they're using the toolkit really well over and over again. David Allen had this to say about his client who was on the leaderboard. He said it was all about sales and service packages. His revenue is a result of 3 tactics. Number 1, using the prescriptive model for sales to ensure people who need personal training are starting in that service. 2, removing the 3 times a week membership option and encouraging people to choose unlimited over twice a week. So upselling. And 3, pre-sales for supplements every single month. Oscar Johed from Sweden said this about his client on the leaderboard. His revenue is a reflection of his relentless focus on lead nurture and conversion. Aha! Coaching people to join their gym. Oscar continued, together we built a system to consistently turn cold leads into long-term members. He's always been strong at getting people in the door. Our recent work was about tightening the follow-up process and making sure that no one slipped through the cracks. That consistency in the front-end effort is now showing up in his top-line revenue. Coach people to join your gym. Coach people to make a commitment to their health and fitness. Then I talked to Per Mattsson, and he said, we followed the steps in the mentorship program, and we made sure there were no gaps in his business. We made very big improvements in his lead nurture process and in the retention system, and that's given us a strong boost to sales. The gym has more than 300 members and an ARM of over $232 US. The key are retention and strong sales processes. Amazing, right? Stick to the basics, the stuff that we tell you on this podcast every single day. Then Courtney Brownlow chimed in again with another tip from a great leader on this revenue leaderboard. She said 2 things that really helped this person was consistently auditing their programs and empowering their team members. Lisa Palmer out of the UK said that the combination of high-value services and great retention is what put her client on the gym's leaderboard. She said he has followed the two-brain methodology to a T. He charges a high-end rate at the front end for a premium one-on-one personal training package, which leads to greater length of engagement and retention. He has a meticulous approach when it comes to the client journey and is forever looking at ways to improve it with the help of other two-brain gyms in the toolkit. Amazing to think he's achieved this while getting married this summer, learning Italian, and growing a garden for the first time. That is mastery of the basics. So now that you know what our top 10 gyms are doing to generate between $70,000 and $120,000 a month in revenue, You might be asking yourself, like, well, what should I do today? It sounds like each of these had a lot in common, but they were focused on different things. So I'm going to give you a couple of options so that you can take action right now to build your business. So first, use the link below this video to get to our Gym Owners United group. Or if you're listening, go to gymownersunited.com. When you're in there, send me a quick DM to request my guide to generating year-end revenue. You still have time to use the 5 tactics and make December a great month for your business. Pro tip, go a step further and put all of my tactics on your 2026 calendar on repeat so that you're planning ahead. Now you've got a plan to fix your end of the year revenue and a plan for next year so you don't get back in this situation. Second, let's talk about a detailed plan for your specific business. Nobody on our leaderboard got there without a mentor's guidance. We'll analyze your business and tell you exactly what to do right now to grow it, and then we'll hold you accountable for doing the work. To talk about working together, book a call through the link below this video. But no matter what you do, put this podcast down and do something today to grow your business. Your revenue won't increase if you don't take action. If you get moving, your numbers will move up too. I'm Chris Cooper. Thanks for checking out this episode of Run a Profitable Gym. Please hit subscribe on your way out the door to get to work.